Mr. Speaker, sir, it is of course the right and duty of Her Majesty's opposition to challenge the position of the government of the day. I make no complaint about that. But when the Right Honourable Gentleman's windy rhetoric has blown away, what are their real reasons for bringing this motion before the House? Because there were no alternative policies. There were just a lot of disjointed, opaque words. It can't be the nation's finances. We are repaying debt, including the debt run up by the party of the Right Honourable Gentleman opposite. The opposition's real reason is the leadership election for the Conservative Party. A democratic election according to rules which have been public knowledge for many years, far cry from the way the opposition do these things. 2 in every 5 votes for their leader are cast by the trade union bloc votes, which has a bigger say than do honourable members opposite in that decision. How to add to 3 general election victories a 4th, which we shall surely win. Look at the opposition! Mr. Speaker, over the last decade, we have given power back to the people on an unprecedented scale. Done it by enabling families to own their homes, not least through the sale of 1.25 million council houses. Labour are against spreading these freedoms and choice to all our people. They are against us giving power back to the people by privatising nationalised industries. 11 million people now own shares. Labour want to renationalise electricity and water and British telecoms. They want to take power back to the state, back into their own grasp.
Let us know where pushing large numbers of people into cardboard boxes and taking power away from them is somehow giving power back to them.
2 million more jobs since 1979 is a great deal more opportunity for people. Yes, 10.9% inflation is much higher than it should be. It's a lot less than the 26.9 that there was under Labour.
Why aren't all her colleagues behind her happy to have her continue in the job of defending that record?
Mr. Speaker, these are the reasons why we shall win a 4th general election. That is what we have achieved, and that is why we shall win handsomely when a general election comes. 4 of the industries we have privatised are now in the top 10 British businesses. And at the very bottom of the list of 1,000 British businesses lie 4 nationalised industries. Labour's industries consume the wealth others create and give nothing back.
Surely she accepts that is not a record that she or any Prime Minister can be proud of.
Mr. Speaker, all levels of income are better off than they were in 1979. But what the honourable member is saying is that he would rather the poor were poorer, provided the rich were less rich. And what a policy! Yes, he would rather have the poor poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That is the Liberal policy. Yes, it came out, he didn't intend it to, but he did. No longer the sick man of Europe, our output and investment grew faster over the 80s than any of our major competitors.
Because of the poll tax, she has fallen.
And I think that the honourable gentleman knows that I have the same contempt for his socialist policies as the people of East Europe who have experienced it have it for theirs. You do not create wealth and opportunity that way. You do not create a property-owning democracy that way. We have that confidence. Confidence in freedom and confidence in enterprise. And that is what divides Conservatives from Socialists. Mr. Speaker, our stewardship of the public finances has been better than that of any government for nearly 50 years. It's enabled us to repay debt and cut taxes. And the resulting success of the private sector has generated the wealth and revenues which pay for better social services. To double the amount being spent to help the disabled, to give extra help to war widows, and vastly to increase spending on the National Health Service, over 1 million more patients being treated each year, And there are 8,000 more doctors and 53,000 more nurses to treat them. That is the record of 11.5 years of Conservative government and Conservative principles. Mr. Speaker, all these are grounds for congratulation, not censure, least of all from the Right Honourable Gentleman, who had no alternative policy.
Order.
The fact is that Britain has done more to shape the community over the past 11 years than any other member state. It is Britain which is leading the reform of the common agricultural policy, getting surpluses down, putting a ceiling on agricultural spending. We have been the driving force towards a single market, which when it is completed will be the most significant advance in the community since the Treaty of Rome itself. And with all this, Mr. Speaker, we have never hesitated to stand up for Britain's interests. We have got back nearly £10 billion, which would otherwise have been paid over to the European community under the arrangements negotiated by the party opposite when they were in power. Indeed, what sort of vision do they have, Mr. Speaker? None, according to the Right Honourable Gentleman. They want a Europe of subsidies, a Europe of socialist restrictions, a Europe of protectionism. They want it because that's how they would like to run, or is it to ruin this country? Do they want a single currency? The Right Honourable Gentleman doesn't even know what it means or its consequences are present. Absolute nonsense. It was appalling. So he says it's a hypothetical question. It's not going to be a hypothetical question, and someone has to go there and argue knowing what it means. Prepared to defend the rights of the United Kingdom Parliament? No, for all that the Right Honourable Gentleman said. We want the community to move forward as 12. Europe is strongest when it grows through willing cooperation and practical measures, not compulsion nor bureaucratic dreams.
Tell us whether she intends to continue her own personal fight against a single currency and an independent central bank when she leaves office.
No, she's going to be the governor.
On the present structure...
Order. The Prime Minister.
What a good idea. I hadn't thought of it. But if I were, there'd be no European Central Bank accountable to no one, least of all to national parliaments. Because the point of that kind of European Central Bank is no democracy, taking powers away from every single parliament and being able to have a single currency and a monetary policy and an interest rates which takes all political power away from us. As my right honourable friend said in his first speech, after the proposal of a single currency is about the politics of Europe. It is about a federal Europe by the back door. So I'll consider the honourable gentleman's proposal. Now, where were we? I'm enjoying this. Mr. Speaker, I was on.
You can wipe the floor with
I was talking about Europe. Are we then to be censured for standing up for a free and open Britain in a free and open Europe? No, Mr. Speaker. Our policies
Order.
tuned with the deepest instincts of the British people. And we shall win the censure motion, so we shall not be censured for what is thoroughly right. Where the Berlin Wall has been torn down and the Cold War is at an end. These immense changes didn't come about by chance. They have been achieved by strength and resolution in defence, and by a refusal ever to be intimidated. But it was no thanks to the party opposite, nor to the campaign for nuclear disarmament, of which the Right Honourable Gentleman Sheldon is still a member. And all these things were done in the teeth of the opposition, of honourable gentlemen opposite and their ladies. The SS-20s, should we be censured for our strength, or the party opposite for their weakness? It is because we on this side have never flinched from difficult decisions that this House and this country can have confidence in this government today.